Mr. Speaker, I get it from his statement that he's seeking responses from 2 cabinet secretaries, one in charge of ICT and one in charge of Interior. But this House must take notice, if it was called to say judicial notice, of what has just transpired in the last 1 day or so about the same subject matter, which is extremely serious, if you ask me. It's a matter that cannot be wished away, because it actually has the capacity or the potential to endanger not only the security of this country, but also the future of young Kenyans. A while back, I think 1 day ago, the cabinet secretary in charge of ICT was reported as having said that there is no law that Worldcoin has violated by doing what they are currently doing in Kenya, collecting data from Kenyans without permission from any authority. 2, today, the cabinet secretary in charge of Interior has been reported as saying that the actions by Worldcoin are questionable, and therefore investigations are being undertaken. So therefore, if we come here again and ask for responses from the 2 cabinet secretaries who appear to be at cross purposes, speaking at cross purposes, to be having different positions on this single issue, which is of greatest concern to Kenyans, then what are we doing? In my view, this is an issue that therefore doesn't require any further statement from either of those 2 cabinet secretaries. As a House, we just need to undertake a very thorough and expeditious investigation and summon everybody else who could be responsible or be involved in these nefarious activities, Mr. Speaker. I need your direction, because if we take the line we are being pushed to take of seeking for some statements or answers from 2 cabinet secretaries who have already differed, they have already fundamentally differed. The Honorable Professor Kindiki Kithure and the other one is called who? Owalo. Kindiki Kithure and Owalo have already differed on the matter of Worldcoin. So who do we believe? Who will the public believe? Is it Kindiki Kithure or Eliud Owalo? Who? Neither. If we shall believe neither of the 2, then it behoves the appointing authority of those 2 gentlemen to then give us a response to this issue. Because it's a very serious matter, Mr. Speaker. It can't just be treated in the light manner it is being treated. I'm on a point of order, Honorable Wakili. Just be patient. Yes, it is important that at every single moment the country is made aware of the position of government, because government can only be one. Whether we recognize it or not, government can only be one. And there's no single day that a government positions can be contradictory. A government cannot have 2 contradictory positions on a single issue, and as serious as this one. So before the settlement, the question goes to whoever is supposed to go to. We need to be told what is the position of government, even before we attempt to do what we are trying to do now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to applaud the questioner, the chairman of the young parliamentarians. Mr. Speaker, sometimes I wish I was younger, but age has caught up with me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You squandered your youth. Moreo. Yes, majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And maybe to begin with, let me commit, I will indeed endeavor to get a statement from the 2 cabinet secretaries, because as has been indicated, I also read on social media what seemed like conflicting statements from the 2 cabinet secretaries, and therefore we need a very coherent and unified statement from the 2 cabinet secretaries, that the one in charge of Interior and ICT. And indeed, Honorable Speaker, it's true. It's sad that this matter came to light because it was in the middle of our city, at KICC. More shocking, Honorable Speaker, is to ask, how does a foreigner not just come to collect data from the middle of our CBD, but from a government premise? Because KICC is a government installation. And therefore, whether this person is there legitimately or not, because we do not know, we wait to hear the answers from the government. But it concerns many people that this was being done in government premises. And even the cautionary statement being given by the data commissioner is a little bit too late. They should have known before they set up camp at KICC. They definitely must have paid somebody to use KICC. The person who allowed them to use KICC should and ought to have verified whether they have been allowed by the data commissioner and they have all the requisite licenses and approvals. Because, Honorable Speaker, as Honorable Bukunji rightly says, in this day and age of artificial intelligence, it is possible that Kenyans will be barred from walking through some places. Probably next time you go to walk into a bank and your iris is has been used for things that you do not know and you are denied access. Probably next time you want to travel, you may find your passport or rather your image and your data has been used in criminal activities that you have no knowledge of. And even, Honorable Speaker, in this day and age of terrorism, Kenyans need to be cautious. And Honorable Speaker, allow me to use this opportunity to caution our young people, and not just young people, to caution Kenyans. Not everything that glitters is gold. And as difficult as circumstances around the economy may be, please don't rush for anything you hear that will give you an extra shilling. Some may be very enticing, but may be very dangerous for you. And I'm not saying this one is dangerous because I do not know, Honorable Speaker. We'll wait to hear from government, and I want to believe that especially the Ministry of Interior has taken all cautionary measures, including the National Intelligence Service, to establish who these people are. The owner of this company, Worldcoin, Sam Altman, has been banned from collecting data in his home country in the US. So what is it that the Americans know about Sam Altman that the Kenyan state does not know, that we can allow him to come and harvest all manner of data from our people? And Honorable Speaker, it only came to light because it was at KICC. You can imagine how much more data they may have collected around the country. When the matter came up and it was in the news last night, I saw in WhatsApp groups in my constituency that in a village, a remote village called Lusigeti in Deya, they were there collecting data. And you can imagine if you entice people in our villages with a little money, how many people will volunteer to just give whatever amount of data they can give in exchange for a few shillings or a few thousand shillings. Honorable Speaker, government has a responsibility to protect its people, and its people includes their personal data. And our laws are very clear on that, Honorable Speaker, and therefore I'll push the CS hopefully by tomorrow, latest Tuesday, Honorable Speaker, to have a statement. If he cannot be able to come, I can get a statement that I can read out to the House latest by Tuesday. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.